You're listening to Rocket Night.
Are you ready? Hey, tonight I'm gonna take you on a little trip. We're going down south by the mighty Mississippi. I'm gonna take you to a place where lights never dim. Bring your mother, your brother, and your best friend. I'm gonna show you where they dance out in the street. They'll tell you all about your body heat. Not gonna talk about it, just gonna do it. Get on down if you feel up good. Now get on down.
Hey, Deb, it's Jon from the Franklin Electric.
Oh, awesome. How are you, Jon?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, so you're in Perth, is that right?
Yeah, we're in Perth right now.
Okay, excellent. So it sounds like you're having a wonderful tour.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Canadian band The Franklin Electric are currently touring Australia, promoting their album This Is How I Let You Down and supporting Holy Holy. They also recently performed at the Woodford Folk Festival. I'll be catching them in Adelaide this weekend. I'm lucky to be talking today with Jon, their vocalist, piano player, trumpet player, and I think sometimes he plays guitar.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, that's what I've found out about you guys so far. So welcome to Australia.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey, look, I know you guys have been together since about 2012, but can you tell me how your group formed or how you got together?
Yeah, I think the band was kind of an experiment that I wanted to try. I mean, I used to play in little pubs in Montreal, and we were kind of playing covers, and eventually we started to introduce like new original music. And each week I was switching around musicians and stuff like that, and we kind of just eventually started playing the new songs, the original stuff, and then I saved up some cash, and I wanted to try to go into studio and record.
Yep, awesome.
So yeah, we basically just grabbed a group of friends that could play music and went in studio and spent a bunch of money.
Yeah, that's usually how it happens. You get a few friends together and gradually a few other people join in, and before you know it, you've got a band happening.
Yeah.
Now, Montreal seems to produce a high calibre of musicians. I discovered Half Moon Run when they toured here in 2014.
Yeah.
I believe you supported them on their Quebec tour in the same year.
Yeah, we became close friends with Half Moon Run. We just actually got back from a Europe tour with them.
Oh,
I don't know, maybe a month or something. We were up in Europe and just playing shows with them. It was quite an amazing tour, actually.
I bet it was. I was going to say, what's it like working so closely with them, and have they influenced your music in any way?
Well, working with them is great, and I always kind of looked up to the bands in Montreal that were kind of established and doing well, and it was kind of like a big brother band. So I was always super thrilled. We were just thrilled to share the stage with them because when we were starting, we kind of, we were just getting our stuff together, and they were doing really well, and then we ended up making friends and touring with them, and then sharing the stage with them and becoming friends. So it's kind of like a band of older brothers where I asked a lot of questions and took up a bunch of information on tours and technicalities and how to do this or how to get that sound, and for sure there's probably some influence in the music and the future tunes that we're currently writing and stuff like that. But yeah.
Okay, I'll look forward to hearing some of your new stuff then. I've been listening to the album you're promoting at the moment, This Is How I Let You Down, and yeah, it flows very well, and there's a few tracks on there I really like, so I'm looking forward to seeing them live on Saturday night. I think I'm going to see you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So music doesn't come out of nowhere. What are your musical roots and influences?
I was really lucky. My mom was from a town in Canada called St. John's, New Brunswick, which is kind of a country town, I guess. And she has 12 brothers and sisters, and they all used to play music around the piano. So there was kind of a thing there. My mom always played piano to me, and she'd be playing, old school 70s popular songs.
Yeah.
From Elton John to the Beatles to the Eagles to, all that stuff. And she just raised me in that environment, and I started playing piano at 3,
Uh-huh.
and then kind of got a knack for it. I just naturally I was like, wow, I was good at it.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And then it just kind of like continued from there, I guess. And I, school and high school and jazz band and stuff like that. And then also just kind of like listening to bands that I love and just absorbing everything and then kind of trying to put all the influences together from folk to kind of popular songwriting and even rock and roll, certain styles of rock and roll. I've never been too crazy heavy rock, but
Yeah.
just kind of a hybrid of all those influences.
Uh-huh. Do you have a favorite band that you follow, or a few favorite bands?
Oh, I couldn't say. I mean, like, I follow so many bands and I discover so much music nowadays because of the internet that I'm like overwhelmed sometimes because I can just kind of like stumble upon so much great art, and so I wouldn't dare have a favorite band. That'd be really tough to answer, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Now, do you do the songwriting? I believe you're sort of the lead person in the band.
Yeah, I write a lot of the songs alone, and then I'll present it to the band, and we'll kind of work on the parts and
Okay.
humanize my messy demos.
The new album title, This Is How I Let You Down, and tracks titled like Unsatisfied and Alone seem to reflect sorrow or regret. Is this a reaction to your past loss, or is there another explanation for these songs?
I don't know. I guess at times I sort of allow myself to venture off into a very kind of like in my head kind of thinking about things, and there's like kind of a troubled mentality behind trying to figure things out and asking a lot of questions about yourself and learning about yourself, and then developing and a sort of sense of self-awareness, and you end up writing songs from a certain self-reflective place, which is, I guess, sort of the basis of that record.
Yep, sure.
The song This Is How I Let You Down, and I kind of like to say the things that everybody lives and feels and can relate to naturally when you say them, almost like you almost took the words from their mouth, or a book that they might have read, or something that relates to ordinary people just in everyday life that have those voices in their own heads.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. Now, tours, I believe after Australia, you're heading to Germany, is that correct?
Yeah, we have a European tour lined up. We have, I think, 5 days confirmed in Germany, and then we're going to be doing France and the Netherlands and Belgium, and I think that's it. Oh, the UK as well.
Great, that sounds awesome. Yeah, a lot of bands do that sort of tour, I think. A lot of Australian bands go to Germany, France, Holland, UK and so on, as well as America, of course. So I'm sure you're looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. We also have a lot of dates in Canada, so we're going to be going home to do some dates and come around back in Canada and then heading out to Europe. So
it sounds like you're going to be busy.
Busy.
As an artist and photographer, I'm always interested in the artwork that bands choose to promote their music. The animated video for The Strongest Man Alive is very creative and impressive, along with the album cover that you have chosen. Do you have a resident artist or a variety of creative people who work for you?
It's a variety of people, actually. But I think that the way you present music and stuff like that, and the feeling in the music and how it can be represented in the visual art side of everything it's great. And I meet a lot of people, and I'm always, I don't necessarily know how to do that, and I try to meet people that kind of have a strong sense of emotion in their art visually, like whatever it is, if it's photography or animation or just drawings, which is our album cover was drawn by a guy in the United States.
Okay.
He does all the designs for like clothes companies like Lacoste and Lacoste. I don't know if you know what it is. It's like a little crocodile.
Okay. Yes.
T-shirts and stuff like that.
Yes, I've seen those.
So he designed he did like a whole line of like kind of jungly vibes, and I stumbled upon him on the internet one night, and I was just like, I got to call this guy. I sent him an email, and he responded. He loved the music, and he kind of decided to work with us. So we kind of got lucky. I just reached out, and he was
And sometimes it works, doesn't it? When you make the first move and then, they respond and you manage to get someone really good working with you. That's great.
Yeah, for sure.
Being on the road touring must be very tiring. What is the best or worst thing about being a musician?
I think the best, like honestly, I had a day where I went in the studio before we left Australia, and I got there and I was with the producer and I was recording vocals, and I think I was there for like 8-9 days straight, and I had one day off, and I didn't get to really have a Christmas, and I was just like, music has swallowed my life. It's like the only thing I have.
Yeah.
But he looked at me and he said, a lot of people on this planet don't know what they want to do. They just do things because they have to pay their rent.
Yes.
And what you have is something that you know what you want to do, and that's a blessing. So I guess at the end of the day, the hard, long hours and like crazy tour hours and stuff like that, and lack of sleep and carrying gear, and it can be cold or hot or whatever it is, they kind of don't matter at the end of the day when you get to play music, and then the amount of things that you get to see on the road and experience. Like our day today was completely surreal. We woke up, we went for lunch. We did an interview, and then I went for lunch. Then we went swimming in the Indian Ocean. Then I went to a cemetery and I met 25 kangaroos. Now I'm going to go and take a nap, and then I'm going to go play a show. Like I don't think it could get much better than that.
I was going to ask if you'd met any kangaroos while you've been here.
Yeah. It's like, it's on the Canadian boys checklist. So we have to do it.
Just before you called, I had a wallaby in my backyard. There's absolutely no green grass around here at the moment, and of course I've got green lawn because I water it, and this wallaby had jumped the fence and it was just chewing on my grass. I didn't have the heart to chase it away.
Right, yeah.
I do live in the country, not in a city, I must add to that. Okay, so do you have any interests or talents that people would be surprised to know about?
Do I have any what? Sorry?
Interests or talents that people might be interests? Anything apart from music, yeah.
Anything apart from music? As far as interests go, yeah, I do. I have a lot of I have a lot of interest in general, but I mean, if I had to pick one, I would say the most interests I have are probably, I don't know, spiritually related. Like I'm very interested into religion and different kind of beliefs, and I always try to soak up different people's views, and almost obsessive about that actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. So I find that interesting anyway as well. Do you do yoga and things like that, or?
I've done a lot of, not a lot, but I do certain meditation to kind of check in with my beliefs and my ideas of whatever the universe or God or whatever people want to call it.
Yep, sure.
But I guess that's probably a very strong interest in my life, and it's been there for a while.
Okay, and what about when you're not playing music? How do you unwind or take a break?
Well, it's been really busy, but I think I think having a good sense at home, and I try to spend time with my family.
Sure.
My mother and my brother and mom, dad, sister, that whole thing, and just kind of checking in with them and not being busy and just eating food, drinking good wine, and taking it easy.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, well, I was just going to finish off with a few questions about Australia, and you've probably answered most of them or some of them so far. So apart from Perth, where else have you been in Australia so far?
We started at Woodford Folk Festival.
Yeah.
Which was an insane, magical experience that we were sad to leave, and we hope that we might end up back there either next year or the year after. And then we went to Brisbane.
Yes.
Then we ended up in Sydney, and we played a bunch of shows around Sydney. Some solo shows, some with Holy Holy. We played at the Oxford Art Factory, which is a really nice venue and cool place.
It is. Yeah, I've been there.
for like 4 days straight. So I got to go check out Melbourne, and then now we're here, Perth, I guess. Yeah.
Yep, sure. So you're getting around. You're seeing quite a bit of Australia. So.
Yeah, a bit sad. We're a bit sad. We might be missing Byron Bay.
Oh, yes.
And even more south than Perth, like down by Margaret's River and like over in the wine area.
Yes. The Margaret River wine area. Yes. So
we're gonna miss that too. Those are two places that we won't hit.
You'll have to come back then, because Byron Bay is definitely a place to visit, a good place to visit. Lots of music and arts and markets and all sorts up there. And the Margaret River's a beautiful area too, particularly if you enjoy wine tasting. So I hope you get to see them another day.
Yeah, we're definitely coming back though. I'm not. We're going to make that happen.
Okay, one of my last questions. Has anything funny or surprising happened to you while you've been here?
Anything funny or surprising happened? Hey, has anything funny or surprising happened to us while we've been in Australia? We have 3 seconds to answer. 1. Somebody said it was pretty surprising to be like, hey, we're going to go see a camera crew, and everybody doubted that, and we got there, and there was like 50 of them.
Very good.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. I think that it's not funny, but it was just kind of mind-blowing on New Year's Day, on the sunrise of New Year's Day, on the top of the mountain at Woodford Folk Festival.
Yeah.
Everybody at the festival goes to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And there's Tibetan monks.
Wow.
And they're chanting. And they just chant for like 20, 30 minutes as everybody just lays on the grass and watches the sun come up. And it was kind of like, I think that will be like a moment that none of us will ever forget.
It sounds amazing. That's a festival I haven't been to, but it's on my list. I think I'll have to get there one day. It's a little bit of a journey for me, but I'll have to make it happen sometime. Okay.
I guess it's far.
Thank you so much for talking to me, John. I'll put this interview on Rock at Night, the online music magazine, and I hope the rest of your Australian tour goes really, really well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, John. Bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye.
You're listening to Rock at Night.
Thanks for the intro melody. It's called Get On Down by Billy Bass Alford. Thanks.